When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass. Now you're listening to the Broke Even Podcast.
Johnny, week 1 is in the books. It was an exciting one. That is as good of a week 1 of college football as I can remember.
Yeah, man.
I would say, according to our picks, weren't great. Johnny went a little 0-5 to kick off the Broke Even Podcast.
Daryl runs the Google Doc because, as we said earlier, Daryl does take Adderall, and he's an efficient man. And I woke up to an email today with what we're talking about today, and he has my picks. And it says, John, 0 for 5. And then all of my picks in red crossed out like a math test in middle school.
I just kind of needed you to see it. You know, I didn't want you to just, because you don't take anything and you just jump over every other word. I wanted you to have to see the color of all of your losses. You're very confident. Hey, your confident losses. I will say we did watch, all the games together on Saturday, but you did have game time decision. You went with Georgia. You did not pick Oregon. You did change your pick, so technically I could maybe give you a 1-5.
But on the pod,
0 for 5. You're 0 for 5.
In real life, I did pick Georgia, and Cincinnati was a push because I had it at -7. But that means nothing. I have to stand. On the pod, I'm 0 for 5.
Hey, don't worry. I picked Oregon to be a playoff team, and they might not win a game.
Yeah.
The rest of the season. That Bo Nix is terrible. That was Georgia was incredible. Just absolutely murdered. Just murdered.
My favorite quote in the history of post-game football, Kirby Smart, the Georgia Bulldogs head coach, after he goes, "We have better players."
Which is...
Have you ever heard anyone say that after a game?
It's about time someone starts to say that. That is exactly what happened.
We have better players.
It wasn't even... There was no scheme.
We have better players.
They're just better. It's just... I'm all in on that. Count me in on this. John, week 1, Saturday, we drank a ton of drinks. We bet on a lot of games. It was incredible. And even before we got to Saturday, it all kicked off with your Pitt Panthers on Thursday night.
A wild Thursday game.
With an incredible pick 6 to win
the game.
That's how you start off.
Backyard brawl, baby.
And then Penn State, Purdue right after.
Amazing.
Purdue almost shocks Penn State, and it's just incredible.
I read a really cool little nugget about the Penn State game where they're like, Purdue would have won that game. They threw 18 passes and 2 rushes in an attempt to run the game out, to run the clock out.
Yep.
And they don't even choose to run. Just really fascinating. They should have won that game.
Yes, they should have.
And Pitt, as you mentioned, wins on a pick 6. And I almost feel bad for the kid. It's like the wide receiver. He had 2 touchdowns, like Wheaton. Hits him in the chest. He doesn't use his hands. Pops up in the air.
You got to catch that ball.
Pops up in the air. Devonshire, our corner, which I read all the articles. He goes. He'd been burned earlier.
So he was giving him a big cushion.
And he goes.
Clearly.
And he was really upset. And he said, and when he dropped the ball, I go, "Ooh, that's mine." Ooh, that's mine. Houses it. He's from Aliquippa. He's from Pittsburgh, that kid who did the pick 6. So
home. That is, yeah, it is. It's beautiful. You know what else? My favorite part of the year is realizing that we are in our 30s, and I love the time when we realize that we're just chewing out the asses of 19 and 20-year-old kids.
Well, I realized,
which we did plenty on Saturday. Is there a team that you hate now because they absolutely screwed you? Because mine's San Diego State.
Mine is San Diego State, who I
never came within striking distance.
They last year beat Arizona. They also beat Utah last year. Yep. Arizona has 2 FBS wins in the past 4 years. They're a doormat program. What happened?
I don't know. We bet on them.
I'm not.
It's that simple,
I read about this stuff.
Yep.
I'm not picking for fun.
Are you telling me articles can be wrong? What? That is wild.
Oh my God. That was and Utah, I will say, that
was a great game.
Utah, I think, is very good. They're going to win a lot of games. Like last year, they lost, early. They won a lot. They're going to win a lot of games this season.
Yeah, they are.
You cannot throw an interception on the goal line. And they had 2 times they got inside the red zone, decided to go for it on 4th, and didn't kick a field goal.
Yep.
My cover notwithstanding, kick the fucking field goal.
Absolutely.
You're on the road.
Absolutely.
And
Florida,
come on,
yes,
man.
that crowd was raucous. That was a fun. That was probably like the best game. I mean, as far like just skill wise, like LSU was the craziest probably. I mean, it was
little Sunday night action.
That one was insane.
For those of you who don't know, tell them what happened, Daryl.
I'll tell you, LSU, they turned the ball over with, I don't know, a couple minutes left, right?
On the punt, he fumbled. He muffed the punt.
And LSU then they're getting torched on defense. Opposing team has the ball on the 1 yard line. All they have to do is just kick field goal. Game is over. Game is over. There's less than a minute left.
Oh, yeah.
Kid fumbles on the 1 yard line. LSU gets the ball back, drives 99 yards the opposite way. With 1 second remaining, they score a touchdown. Now they are down 1. And I was nervous because I had LSU minus 2.5. And I was like, well, if they go for 2, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Yeah. But then
they bring out, they hold up the 1. They're kicking an extra point. I'm like, all right, great. This thing's going to overtime. I have a shot. Blocked extra point. LSU loses.
Never really seen a game end like that. LSU,
and truly one of the more devastating fashions Florida State takes down LSU. I will not touch LSU the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're banned. They're in timeout for.
You can quote me on that, and guess what? I will bet on them, and I will be disappointed once again. But just know, right now, screw them.
I'm never doing it again until I do it again.
Tough start for the Chip Kelly era.
And
Brian Kelly.
Yeah, they.
Ouch.
As I told you, they lost their starting defensive tackle. Smith he jumped up in the air to celebrate.
This is the LSU tackle.
LSU tackle lands awkwardly, ACL, torn out for a year on a celebration.
His
name is
ACL.
Mason Smith, spelled Maason, which is sick. Mason.
Tears his ACL celebrating during a loss, which is just a woof.
I mean, now you're listening to the Broke Even podcast. I mean, poor bastard.
The only other game that was truly hysterical was the Iowa game.
I will say
7-3. And there was no touchdowns.
No touchdown for Iowa.
Do the math, folks.
And so if you're counting at home, folks, Iowa had 2 safeties and a field goal. At one point, it was 5-3, which is what the game score deserved to be.
Yep.
Almost funnier that it's 7-3 with 2 safeties. I tried to bet. This is a fascinating thing of Vegas. I was trying to bet the game all morning because this was like my thing, and you
had Jackrabbits big last week,
and they took it off FanDuel. I couldn't find it. And then I went to Bet Rivers. Couldn't find the Vegas was in. I think a lot of money went on.
The Jackrabbits.
On the Jackrabbits, and they pulled it.
Yep.
When the game came back online in the first quarter. I was able to sneak in a South Dakota State +5, which hit. But wow, Iowa after all year, all offseason. They were in the Big Ten title game. They're like, we have no offense. Their defense is NFL dudes. There's no change. It's the same team.
They
kept their same quarterback. Since last year, 6 games in, he's thrown 1 touchdown and 8. After the Penn State game when they won, we're 6-0, he's thrown 1 touchdown and 8 interceptions.
That is.
And their offensive coordinator, Kirk Ferentz, his son, Brian Ferentz, is the offensive coordinator. So you're going to have to fire your son mid-season? Fire him.
Yep, fire him.
Fire him.
Sorry, son.
Sorry, bud.
Not going to play catch this year.
Yeah.
And good news, though, you and I, our squads, we're undefeated right now. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pitt, we're 3-0.
3-0.
Wisconsin took care of Illinois State, shut them out. We had 2 100-yard touchdowns. Looking pretty crisp. But we haven't played anybody.
We'll find out when you play Ohio State in 4 weeks.
And that will be that'll be the doozy.
I also say my Kansas State Wildcats, my pick for the Big 12, did shut out the team that they played. It was like South Dakota or some FCS team, and I was like really excited. It was 34-0. They had I was like, this is great. Looked at the box score. Adrian Martinez, the transfer, he's like 5 for 5, 36 yards passing.
Oh,
they
my
just
God.
didn't pass the ball at all.
Oh, that's a great sign.
That has me a little nervous. But this week, everything I said will come down to we'll really find out. They play Missouri, and if they obviously get killed, I'm an idiot, but I'm hoping they're the favorite. They're favored by 8 points. So
here's a little something. Maybe a little hope for your Pitt Panthers. So the Clemson game was last night, Monday night. Clemson didn't look very sharp. They give up a lot of sacks.
They did not look very sharp. And again, similar to Iowa.
Gotta let people hang around.
Similar to Iowa, Daryl. Doesn't it, like the
it.
whole offseason, is the Clemson offense fixed? It didn't look, 41-10, but if you watch the game, their offense looked like last year.
I thought they looked terrible. So something to look about. Just remember, they got them giving up so many sacks. We got to search ahead.
The ACC,
find the best defensive lines and bet on them and just see what happens.
NC State.
That's a little tip. That's a little note for our friends out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Sack bet.
Sack bet. Love it.
You can bet on sacks now. Sack bet.
Last thing before we get to picking some games, the new playoff format was announced. It's going from 4 to 12. So 6 conference champions will get automatic bids. There's going to be a couple buys. The first 2 rounds are going to be at the home stadium of the higher seeded team, that's really fun.
That's really cool. We get to go to playoff games. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Ooh.
It ruins the regular season, the best regular season in sports. If you're going to expand the playoff, make it 8. First 4 teams get a bye. 12 makes it so that the regular season doesn't matter anymore.
I love it. I love it so much.
I hate it.
Bring
I couldn't hate it more, dude. This is going to fuck up the sport, Daryl.
No, it will not.
Yes,
it will make it better because there's that time right after the regular season ends, after the conference championship games. There's that month where no one even talks about college football. No one gives a shit. It's just done.
You don't watch the Holiday Bowl, Daryl?
Like nobody cares. And then even when the championship rolls around, like, yeah, they haven't played in a month. Like, it's whatever.
That is a very good
stupid
point.
And now it's going to go right in to these awesome playoff games at these. Imagine like an SEC school having to come up to Camp Randall or even Columbus, or like in the middle of winter.
Okay,
it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna get all these crazy home and homes these.
That is
these teams
point.
that never play inside these home stadiums. It's gonna be incredible.
Okay, that is like
How do you not get pumped?
You've kind of tripped my trigger.
Yeah,
you flipped my switch a little bit.
Good.
That's got me kind of jacked up.
It's got to be like that's what it is. That's what the excitement is. Sure, you're right. Like a devastating loss early in the season might not mean the end of the world. Like this Utah game this past week might not mean as much, in a couple of years because one loss against
I guess
a non-conference opponent in week 1 not going to be. But also, the game was still great. So the NFL's still great, and you can lose.
That's a really good point.
I'm all in. I'm excited, and it just gives Wisconsin a chance. So that's
you've
selfishly
changed my mind. I think that just the stadium thing that we'll get to see,
it's gonna be awesome.
Somebody's gonna go up to Oregon. Somebody's gonna go up to Penn State, and it's a great call.
It's going to be incredible.
I want to go over our conference playoff picks before we do the picks real quick. Where it's like I have Utah. I still like in the Pac-12, but USC. Oregon's not winning the Pac-12. I'll tell you that right now.
Nope, they are not.
USC,
I picked them.
While they did put up like 66 on Rice, 3 pick sixes, Jordan Addison 2 touchdowns.
That was tough for you. Sorry, pal.
Happy for him, but also tough.
No, you're not.
It's going to be Utah USC. They play in a couple weeks. Big 12, we still don't really know. Oklahoma looked good, but Oklahoma State won, Kansas State won, whatever. Clemson, I think the ACC is fascinating. Florida State, okay. Are they going to be good? NC State barely beat
they did.
ECU on a missed field goal.
There's a lot of things they should have lost.
And then Alabama murdered Utah State. Bryce Young had 100 yards rushing and 500 million touchdowns. Ohio State struggled with Notre Dame, would you say? They struggled?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that's probably going to be like their closest game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ohio State's still going to
Not a good sign that their defense looks good. I will say.
That's what's horrifying because their offense is going to absolutely clap the other Big Ten teams. That's what's scary.
But Notre Dame was playing without their best offensive lineman and wide receiver.
Yeah.
And also Notre Dame, their offense is not going to be good. So I want to see Ohio State's defense against somebody with a pulse.
Do you think if you could change any pick, which one would you change any of your picks right now?
If I could change any of them, I would change
Georgia. Maybe
I would change it to. That's close, but they're just gonna have to play. They're gonna have to play. But I would change USC over Utah just because I just think Lincoln Riley.
Think he figured it out?
After
one game with Rice?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I just don't. Utah, I think Utah might be mentally fucked after that. We'll see.
Possibly.
I'm just upset at Utah right now after they cost me.
Well, you broke my number one rule. What's my number one rule, John?
Don't bet on virgins.
Don't bet on virgins, okay? So that's it. It works. All right? That's why you don't bet on the BYUs. You don't bet on the Utahs. That's just a rule. All right, John.
After that game, I have to say, after the game of the Utah-Florida game, after the pick, because Daryl bet Florida, after the game, Daryl's like 17 beers in, looks at me and goes, "What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you, Johnny?"
All right, John, you ready for some week?
I'm ready to go 5-0.
Week 2. Yeah, time to redemption time, and then we're going to get into some NFL. So,
finally.
All right, first game, 11 a.m. on Fox. We got Alabama at Texas. Texas is getting 20 points.
20 at home.
20 at home.
I will say I saw this article, and Steve Sarkisian, a former Alabama assistant, Nick Saban resurrected his career, and Sarkisian said also he got fired for drinking on the job at USC.
We're okay with.
Which we love. Got
love
caught
Sarkisian.
being awesome.
We love Sarkisian.
Awesome
Sorry.
Somebody got caught being cool at work. I just blew the speaker yelling that.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
He said this morning the Texas-Alabama game will not define.
He says that before the game.
What it says will not define our season. And if you are a gambler and you hear that,
we're about to get our asses kicked.
We are going to take Alabama minus 20.
Hey, John, that is absolutely correct. There's 0% chance that I think Texas will keep this even slightly close. I cannot believe a coach would say that before a game.
Have you ever heard that before?
No, I can't. It's truly, I've never been more sure of a bet than in my life.
Yeah.
Bama. All right.
And if they backdoor whatever, but it's like,
No.
It's Alabama is Death Star.
The only problem is, does Saban? We should probably look up these stats. Does Saban love running it against his old assistant coaches?
We have to look it up.
I feel like Belichick does with his old coaches. I feel like Saban probably wants to be like, all right, buddy, Daddy's home.
Well, last year he had never lost to an assistant. He was like 25-0, and then lost twice to Jimbo and Kirby.
All right, we're going Bama. We think they're going to win by more than 3 tutties, which is accurate. All right, game 2. Johnny's boys, Tennessee travels to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is getting 6.5 at home.
At Heinz.
This is 2:30 at ABC. This will be primetime, baby.
I'm incredibly nervous for this game as a gambler and a fan of the program. Tennessee has a really good offense. They played Ball State. I'm praying that us playing a team with a pulse will help us and we can work out the kinks. We gave up 5 sacks, which was really shocking. Our offensive line is really good. Our defense, we also had a punt blocked.
Yep.
We played really sloppy, but you know what? We won. We gave up 5 sacks. We got our punt blocked, and we won by a touchdown.
Yep.
So I'll take the points. I'll take Pitt plus 6.5.
I hate that they are getting 6.5 at home, but I'm gonna go with the Volunteers.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think if this was at Tennessee, I'd pick Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense at all.
And last year in your hometown, I watched Pitt beat Tennessee in Neyland Stadium.
Yep.
So I feel like, there's something there.
All right.
Some magic in the air.
I'm going some Tennessee. You're going with your Pitt.
I like
it. All right. This one is sneaky. This typically isn't very good, but the last couple of years actually has been. Kentucky at Florida. Florida is favored by 4.5. This is 6 on ESPN. John.
I think.
Do they ride the wave? Does Florida ride the wave?
Yeah, it's like, is Florida just like gonna have a year all of a sudden? Like, are they? They just beat a top 10 team, Kentucky. Played with their food a little bit, as you say, but then covered against a MAC team last week. This is incredibly hard for me to pick. I'm gonna take Kentucky.
This is exactly how everyone's probably feeling.
I want points in this matter. I think Florida wins, but I think they win by 3. So I'm going to take Kentucky plus 4.5. Really, this is a coin flip game.
And if it's a coin flip game, then
take the home team. Is that what you're going to say?
No, then take the points, I guess.
Yeah, take the points. Exactly.
I will be going with Florida. That crowd was so awesome. I love I love a good home college football crowd. Yeah, I think they're gonna ride the wave of energy that they just created in one of the craziest game ever, and I feel like they're gonna run it up big because I don't think they're gonna play another close game.
Yeah.
Right after, they're either gonna get clapped or they're gonna clap.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Okay. All right. So Game 4, Arizona State at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is favored by 11. It's a 6:30 game.
I know nothing about Arizona State besides that they lost a lot of guys to the transfer portal. I know they won their first game. I'm going to take Oklahoma State here. I think they're going to be upset. They gave up a lot of garbage time points against Central Michigan.
They gave up like 22 points in the fourth quarter to make it respectable.
To make it look close, but I think they're going to be – I think that has them locked in, dialed in. I'm going to take Oklahoma State minus 11.
Me too, buddy. We're doing it.
I really
we're betting against Herm.
Yeah, bet against Herm.
Okay. Kind of a boring game.
Your Big 12 pick. Your Big 12 pick.
That's right. I can't bet against them.
Yeah.
That's it. They kept it close with Central Michigan, so that's fun. All right, Game 5. This is a good one. USC at Stanford. Stanford's getting 9 at home. 6:30 ABC.
Stanford's a team that traditionally has played above their means, but the last couple of years fallen on hard times. I just can't see them. Even if USC's defense gives up some scores, I can't see them staying in front of these guys on offense, man. I'm going to take USC minus 9. I would advise our listeners, tease this down to 6.5 just in case of a funky, something weird. 9 is one of my least favorite spreads in sports for
really
football.
Difficult.
I really don't like it. Get it to 6.5. Tease that down. Now for the I will take the. I'm just I'm not gonna be wishy washy. USC minus 9, but maybe making a parlay. Maybe tease that down a bit. What do you think, Lee?
I am also going to cheer with you. I want USC. I think they're going to put up a ton of points. And do I think Stanford's going to keep up with them? Let's just bet that they can't.
Yeah.
USC is going to put up a lot of points and just hope to God that Stanford's crowd, the energy, I don't know.
Those kids are writing papers.
Yeah, they're losers. First week they're pumped. They're reading the syllabus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They didn't get their tickets yet. They don't even know the game's going on.
Yeah.
All right, we're both going USC. Man, that's a loss. But
yeah, doesn't it feel like it feel like everything that we picked is wrong?
Absolutely. And we picked different picks at multiple. Yep. All right. Well, John, that's some college football. Any other college football tidbits before we get to the NFL?
I just want to say, if you faded all of my picks last week, you went 5-0. And if you think about it like that, this is the best gambling advice podcast in the world. If you faded me, I'm 5-0.
Absolutely.
You're 5-0.
Absolutely.
My tidbits are, I do feel some relief that Ohio State looked mortal, and Alabama and Georgia, another season, but nothing has changed. It's Alabama, Georgia.
Yes, it is.
And Georgia looked unbelievable.
That was an incredible performance by them. They were so good.
They're so good.
That was so good.
Golly, they got better players,
and
man.
It'll be funny to watch Oregon this week and be like, okay, are they that bad or is Georgia that incredible? And I think Georgia's going to be that incredible.
It was like the over for wins for them on the whole year is 11, and that's hitting. They're not losing. Yep. They don't play Alabama in the regular season.
Yep. It is. They're not losing.
Florida, Kentucky. Nope. Absolutely not.
Nope. Sorry.
Those are all going to be 34-0 games.
Yep. Did you see Stetson's Heisman odds? He was like the 50th, and I think now he's probably in the top 10 for Heisman.
Bryce Young may repeat, but yeah, I would say my takeaway is that those two are really good, and that the ACC and Big Ten might be more open than we thought. But yeah, Penn State,
I hope so.
Michigan State were like, they won, but it's like
fine. Nothing. Yep.
It's like
Big Ten made no waves.
I will say there wasn't like a team that I was like, maybe them. USC is like kind of that.
Kind of, but even that.
I think we're hoping for the sport. Miami put up 77 on Bethel Cook or whatever.
Yep.
Like,
couldn't even find a spread on that.
Will they be somebody? We don't know. And these week 2 slate, hate to say, is kind of whack.
Weak. But it's good because the NFL starts. So who cares?
And speaking of.
Hey, NFL. Are you ready for some football, John? It's back. We're recording this on Tuesday. First game is on Thursday night. This season, I'm so excited. This is probably like that year finally where we're in this generation of quarterbacks where like we never thought that the tide would ever shift. Like Rodgers, Breeze, Peyton, like Tom Brady, like Big Ben, yes, Phillip Rivers, like all those guys. I think it's finally like into a new era with Josh Allen, Mahomes. I mean, there's just
it feels like
Herbert
grab your backpack, grab your markers. It's a new school year. Grab your new shoes. School is back.
Wow.
Grab your bulletproof vest.
That is
political.
Woo. We're going there. Yep. And I'm so excited. This will be a year where I just think that it's going to be. I'm more excited this year than I have been in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Because it's a new era and it's fun. It's exciting.
New blood, man.
It's fun. I like all the stud.
And Kyler is weird. Kyler's like
very weird.
This like. I'm
anti-Kyler.
I mean, everyone is anti-Kyler because, they put in a thing in his contract where he has to watch film. He's like, nah, I kind of really fuck with him. He was he wasn't going to, everyone forgets he wasn't going to go to the NFL. He was going to be a baseball kid.
He was always going to play football.
And then he was like, Oklahoma. He started his career at Texas A&M, transfers to Oklahoma. I mean, it's like, wins,
They use that as a negotiating ploy. That like, I'm going to go to the MLB because he did get drafted by one of the MLB teams. Should we do baseball talk? Yeah. No. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
But I still agree with you. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be awesome.
But let's get into it. Let's get into the who is.
I want to know. Yeah. Who do you love this year?
If you like football, you like the Buffalo Bills. This
Yes.
franchise has lost 4 Super Bowls in a row in the '90s. We was talking.
Is this the most liked team like ever? I don't know a single person that doesn't.
Josh Allen, dude.
I mean,
there's
my
a video.
boy Diggs.
Yeah,
like, it is just the fan base is fun. I like the tables getting broke outside.
Buffalo, New York.
They don't win, and they like just made the playoffs a couple years ago for the first time in like 20 years, which is crazy.
And now they're like
in the NFL,
really good.
And now they are the favorite. They're the favorite to win it this year's Buffalo Bills.
My 2 Buffalo Bills things I love: video Josh Allen in training camp gets in the end zone and just plays dead. And he just like completely goes limp, hilarious. Also, when Marshawn Lynch got traded from them, he's like, I don't know, man. Buffalo, they like just got a Dave and Buster's. It's not. That's it. They don't have anything.
I loved Marshawn.
Me too.
Did we all?
But yeah, I mean, it's hard not to love the Bills. Do you
have a sleeper? Like a sleeper team that you love?
I mean, I'm obsessed with the Dolphins strictly because Tyreek Hill is doing all these hilarious interviews and. He is a bucket, and
if they see if they'll ever turn the corner. The AFC East is going to be pretty weak. I mean, I mean, they got Bills obviously, but like Patriots aren't
Death Star anymore.
Correct.
But Mac Jones is good. But like, I like the Dolphins. Like, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything, but I like them to maybe surprise some people. I mean, they're favored week 1 against the Patriots. That's a pretty crazy sign.
Wild, but they've always kind of competed against Patriots.
They always play well
for whatever reason.
They invented the Wildcat to beat them.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I think my sleeper. I'm going with the Niners. I think
pretty good coach.
I think that they. I mean, the fact that they were really good for as long as they've been good. They've made it to the Super Bowl once, twice, whatever in the last couple of years with Jimmy Garoppolo as their QB, and now they get to transition, and their defense is probably the best in the NFL. They get to the quarterback. I don't like anybody on their team actually, but I do think they're going to win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, I mean, one of these years they're going to win a Super Bowl on accident just because like their coach is so good
and they just keep getting there.
Shanahan is just a genius, man. It really is.
Obviously, like the teams that like you love this year, it's kind of hard because the NFC is wide open because you don't really know how good anybody is. The AFC is wide open because there's so many good teams.
Yeah, I will say the Rams. I can't remember the last time somebody had this good to repeat. They didn't lose a ton of dudes, and they brought in Allen Robinson from the Bears, wide receiver, a former Penn State guy, good player.
It's just so hard.
It's so hard, but Aaron Donald continues to be, he takes on quadruple teams, dude. I mean, they're loaded. The Rams, I think we're looking at a very possible Super Bowl matchup in the first game of the season, Bills-Rams. Yes. Very possible.
That's probably the odds-on favorite, I would assume, for them to repeat. Because I'm sure at the tops, it's Bills, Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, Bucks.
Yeah.
Probably Packers.
Yeah.
But we don't believe the Packers are good on this podcast, do we, John?
No, I mean, after again, why Shanahan, I respect him so much. Beating the Packers in the playoffs last year with
that was the best.
I mean, in Lambeau. I mean, boy, did I lose my shirt.
That was one of my favorite games of the year. Yes, we did all, but we did
Super Bowl odds on FanDuel in order. Best odds: Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Rams. They're fourth, which is wild. Packers, Chargers.
Yep, I nailed them all, buddy.
I mean, you're not wrong. I will say I've
loved... And what are the Vikings?
Looking at, it says show all. Let me hit the show all button, Daryl. Then it's Niners, Broncos, Eagles, which is crazy.
Man, people are high on the Eagles.
And then Ravens, Cowboys, Bengals.
Come on.
Colts, Cardinals, Browns, Titans, Vikings.
Ouch. Well, I like those odds. Underdog pick, buddy.
I might put a bet in for the Rams to repeat it plus 1,100 right now. And I just did it. And $100 to win $1,000.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, first pick of the NFL season has been placed.
Why not?
Otherwise, like the teams that I hate this year, the team that I'm afraid to bet on will be the Broncos.
Same.
Just because the Seattle Seahawks, when Russ was there, I don't know what happens to those teams where they can't score or have any normal game whatsoever. I'm afraid that's getting taken to Denver.
Yeah.
I don't want to tune it in. I don't want to tune in on I put a bunch of money on the Broncos. I turn it on at halftime and it's 6-3.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn it. Like, this is the stupidest game in the world. And
the AFC West, man, is we have Mahomes post Tyreek, gets Juju, who cannot separate from a defender.
They'll be great.
And then so it's Chiefs, Chargers. Raiders now have Devontae Adams, his former college quarterback, Carr, and Devontae Adams together. And the Chargers, like, they're going to beat the shit out of each other.
That's why those over-unders, like, if you place preseason over-unders, like, you don't touch any of them.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't know.
I mean,
that's like the most difficult schedule like ever for anybody in that division.
And it's like the Raiders could,
10 wins, 11 wins, probably going to win, like, that 11's probably going to win that division.
Yeah.
But if they're in the NFC, they would win 14.
Raiders could win 8 or 12, and I'd be like, yep.
And it doesn't mean that they're bad. Like, that's really what happens.
And then, I love your Broncos makes you nervous thing. I do think the Eagles have a really, really good roster, but it is like they're getting so much money in Vegas.
Just a little too much.
It's a little sus.
Like, do we believe in Jalen Hurts?
I do think the Bengals not getting enough respect at plus 2,200 to win it all.
Wild.
Like, they really don't give a fuck about the Bengals.
It's weird because I think if they didn't make the Super Bowl, people would be higher on it.
Yes.
Because they're like, they got lucky last year. I'm like, no, they just were a year early.
They were one throw away.
They were just a year early.
Chase was open,
than everybody else expected. Like, this is now their go time, like, ready to roll. I love that team.
Yeah. I think the Bengals are I think the Bengals are right back in the mix. I'm not going to tell them they'll win the Super Bowl, but they're not going to fuck around.
I agree.
Joe Burrow is cold with it.
I love everything about that team. Maybe we can sprinkle in some Bengals cash.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just do some NFC picks, AFC. We'll go to the NFC Championship game, AFC Championship game, and then Super Bowl winner. What do you think about that?
Okay.
We won't go by division. That's just a lot.
Yeah, it's too much. Let's keep it rolling and rocking. Who is your let's start with the AFC.
The AFC.
Who is your AFC title game matchup?
Chiefs. I think Mahomes is coming back. They upgraded their offensive line, which was a problem. I think people, because they've been so good for so long, they just kind of forget about him.
Yeah.
Like, nope, still really good. Mahomes is still great. Probably going to sprinkle in some cash on him to be MVP too. And then I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I love that. We're close. I'm going Bills Chargers. I think that
I hope that's what it is because it's the most fun.
I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs experienced their first ever bad luck in the playoffs. They seem to always just have the ball bounce their way. I think it's Bills Chargers.
I love it.
And that'd be so fun. I love AFC is just like
most fun.
Is like 17 thumbs
Truly,
up for
yeah.
me.
And there's so many different variations of that AFC Championship game. We'll be like, oh man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What a great game. Oh, that's an incredible.
There's like
matchup.
15 matchups I'd like to see.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. Then you go to the NFC, you're like, I've seen most of them,
It's
and
boring.
they're boring.
It's like the Big Ten of NFC of
Which
the
we
NFL.
love, but
which
yes.
we love. But this is, you know what I mean.
I will say I could not be happier that the Vikings are in the NFC, because then they actually have a chance of making some noise.
Yeah,
And that's all you want in the NFL, is to make some noise.
absolutely.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite comment. Like, they might make some noise this year.
They might make some noise.
That's what I want. Just give me some hope.
The Bucs are clearly the betting favorite for NFC Championship winner,
Which
at plus 340. The
I
next
don't
round of
like.
teams is Packers and Rams at plus 500. As I said, I like the Rams. I'm gonna go for fun. I'm gonna go Rams Niners, little NFC West matchup, because I think the Niners have a great coach, and I think Trey Lance might be that motherfucking
Me too.
guy. I'm going to go Rams-Niners NFC West matchup.
You ready for mine?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the 49ers.
Love it.
I believe in Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I believe in that defense. I believe in Shanahan.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. This is not a homer pick. I believe in them. The offense is going to be incredible this year. Look out. They have top to bottom,
They're a good roster.
quite possibly the best offense in the NFL.
They have a good
And
roster.
that is a shocking thing to say. And they no longer have Zimmer or Zimmer's hot girlfriend, but now they have Kevin O'Connell, a disciple of...
I will say, as we talk about this, I can't think about the Bosa brothers. One is in the Niners, one is on the Chargers, and their dad...
Yep.
Their
Produced
dad,
the two
he should
greatest.
sell his sperm like horse, like
Absolutely.
thoroughbred horse semen.
Absolutely.
I would buy a vial. I mean, this man produced 2 top 5 picks.
Hey, John, here's my problem.
I
And
shouldn't have said
this
semen
is
in
a
our
good
football podcast.
This is a good look into our friendship and people having to hear this. I'm laying my heart on the line, saying that the Vikings are going to be in the NFC Championship game, and you're like, well, wait a minute, what about Bosa's dad's semen? And then I have to just sit there and just listen to it like that.
I think I was.
if that's not.
You never like watch your friend do something embarrassing and you change the subject. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, oh.
Oh, so you're saving me. Okay, good friend.
I'm somebody who, I root for the Vikings because I love you so much, and I hope they do that. There's just, I would be super shocked if they did. I hope they do for your sake. I want you to be right.
Thank you.
I want you to be right. But it's not happening.
All right, so Super Bowl pick, or I'm just gonna go Niners, Chargers.
I'm gonna go Rams Bills. I'm gonna say that the week 1 first matchup goes back, and then I'm going.
No one would hate
Ready?
that Super Bowl.
Ready? I'm gonna go. Rams repeat. Bills.
Well, you did just bet on it, so I hope so. Bills
right?
get stuffed.
Bills get stuffed. Another Super Bowl loss.
Wow. 5. Sorry, fellas. All right. The games are incredible. Truly, like across the board. We'll run through these 5 games quick. We'll post them on our Twitter account. Follow, fade us if you want.
Fade me. Fade me, daddy.
You had your chance to fade John last week. I don't think you're going to be able to get it past him this week. All right, first game Thursday is obviously the best game on the lineup. It's Bills at Rams. Rams are getting 2.5 at home. This is Thursday night, NBC.
I say, God, what an amazing fucking first game. Good job, NFL scheduler. Yep. I say take the over at 52.5.
Couldn't agree more.
Take the over at 52.5. Coin flip game. I'm gonna say Bills. Even though they're at the Rams and they're minus, I just feel like they're hungry and angry, and the Rams are getting their rings, they're dancing.
Yep. There's gonna be a
and
lot
the Bills,
of dancing.
the last time they played football, got fucking absolutely just their heart ripped out and stumped on.
Yep.
So I think they got that dog
Coming
in
in
them.
focused.
Bills.
I love it. I'm also going with the Bills. I like this. I
that's-
like that we're both taking home dogs.
We're absolutely
Yeah, we're
losing.
betting against home dogs. Yeah,
We're absolutely
sorry.
losing.
Yep, fade that one, folks.
Fade it.
All right, game 2. It shouldn't be a good game, but it is. It's Patriots at Dolphins. Dolphins are favored against the Patriots by 3. It's a CBS noon game.
It's really interesting. It's up to 3.5 on FanDuel. It's like, what don't I know?
Mac Jones isn't very good.
Mac Jones isn't very good. I'm taking the points at plus. I said the Dolphins are a surprise, but I'm taking Patriots plus 3.5. Dolphins play well against the Pats, but 3.5.
I'm taking the Dolphins, buddy. I think the Pats are also notoriously slow to start off a season, and Dolphins they're going to get up for it. Tua. I want to believe in Tua also.
Dude, he's got the weapons. Waddle and Tyreek are an amazing. If he could, I mean, dude, they could be really good. They could be really good.
Was it Patriots Bills in the playoffs where Patriots got absolutely just housed?
Correct.
Or was that Chargers? Either way.
No, that was Patriots.
But that felt like that ended the mystique for me.
Yeah.
Where I mean, I'm gonna feel really stupid once Bill takes his team to the Super Bowl, but
hard to bet against.
I'm betting against him.
But Mr. Check. Now this is another amazing.
This game is amazing.
Amazing game.
But this is going to be my pick of the week. Okay,
Raiders Chargers.
Raiders at Chargers. Chargers favored by 3. 3:30 at CBS.
This is the most amazing. I mean, what a slate, dude. I'm excited. We have again Devontae Adams.
This is going to be the hammer pick of the week.
Say it. Speak to me.
The Chargers. You bet all of your life on them, folks. The Raiders' offensive line might be bottom 5 in the NFL going against that
Going against a Bosa boy.
And do we really believe in Derek Carr that much? Like,
No.
do we really believe in him? I mean, he's fine. He's good. The receivers are good. I think that Derek Carr is going to be on his ass all day, and I think the Chargers, even without any home field advantage, they are going to absolutely clock Derek Carr and the Raiders, and because it's Raiders and Eagles feel like they're like the preseason hot team that people are picking.
Yeah.
Go Chargers,
This
folks.
is another one for me. I'm slamming the over, 52.5. I think it's a pick 'em. I do think that the Raiders always fuck me over in parlays.
Yes,
they just get weird. Like they play better, and then they play bad, then they play. I will say take the over as my big bet. I'm going to join you on the Chargers.
Yes.
I'm going to join you on the Chargers. Hard to bet against that team right now.
I just really like it. I don't believe the Raiders hype at all, and I don't believe in Derek Carr. So hammer it, folks. This is my if you lose a bet, I'll pay it back. I mean, eventually, not anytime soon, but at the end of the season, maybe.
Once we get a Patreon.
Yeah, right. Okay, game 4, best game ever. The Green Bay Packers travel to Minnesota to take on my Vikings. Kirk Cousins, the Vikings. And guess what, folks? They are getting a 1.5 at home. It's a 3:30 game on Fox. It's going to be an incredible game. Winner of this game probably wins the division. That's how big it is.
No Packers wide receivers to speak of. Alan Lazard, I forget if we talked about this last week, but this guy in Michigan put like $50,000 on him to lead the NFL in receiving yards.
I think it's a great
It's an amazing idea. They have no weapons, dude. I'm taking Vikings plus 1.5. Mainly, I would take whoever was at home.
Yep.
Vikings are at home. I'm taking them, and they're getting points.
They are. Here's the thing. So Packers defense is sneaky very good. Like it's been good the last couple of years now. But I just think it's gonna be like a 17-13 game. Like I think that's how it's gonna play out.
Yeah.
Even though the Vikings have the better offense, which doesn't make any sense because we have Kirk Cousins and they have Aaron Rodgers, but it's the truth.
Yeah, better. I mean, you don't have Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is that motherfucker.
He's very good, and we have 2 receivers that would be number ones anywhere. Fun tight end. I think they're gonna be very good, but I still think it's gonna be a low scoring game, which isn't great for the Vikings, honestly, but I'm taking Vikings 17-13, start off 1-0 on their way to the NFC Championship. So 2 Vikings picks. Ouch.
I mean, that one makes me so nervous, dude. I'm getting my belly is like butterflies thinking about grinding out that 325 game. Yep. I'm just oh my God, just so stressful.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. All right, Sunday Night Football is Bucks at Cowboys.
This
Cowboys are
game
getting 2.5.
Opened up the season last year, or was it? I believe it was a year or two ago, because I remember betting on it, and like the Cowboys fumbled at the goal line and fucked me over.
God,
I think it was last year.
God, do they love being fucking terrible and stupid.
Cowboys plus 2.5. The Bucks, it's like, oh, Brady is, he was Bucks.
Yep, I'm doing it too, buddy. God,
Bucks.
We have a lot of picks the same, but
similar picks.
I don't think the Buccaneers are gonna be that good this year. I don't believe that even last year they didn't look very good. Obviously they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
They still went over their win total and I tell you every year.
I will not be betting on Mike McCarthy to beat Tom Brady. I'm just not doing it. That is not something that he is capable of doing, and I'm not doing it.
I told you last year, bet the Tampa Bay over for regular season wins. It hit. This year it's at 11.5. Do it again. 12 wins. Do it again.
I don't.
That's
like
plus
that.
odds. That's plus odds. Plus 1.
I actually think the Panthers are going to win that division. Just a little sneaky.
Love you, Tucker.
I love Baker Mayfield. All right, so that's all. All of our picks are in, buddy. We got 10 games. We'll post them all on Twitter.
Daryl, what are you doing this weekend? Where are you watching the games at? I'm out of town. Where are you at?
I really hate that, by the way. Sunday I'm gonna have people over to watch the NFL games. And the good thing is Saturday's slate isn't amazing. So Saturday I have a show.
That's what we call an apple picking weekend.
Yes, during the day.
Take your lady out. Get out of the house.
Yeah, little date day. Show Saturday night, and then Sunday will be all NFL. So I'm kind of locked in with the NFL this weekend. Obviously, we'll be paying a close attention to college football, but the NFL is going to take over the weekend.
I'll be in Atlanta for a wedding, and I'm gonna, as I told the wife, I go, you do your thing. I'm gonna Google best sports bar in Atlanta. I'll be there until the second I need to be at the wedding, and then Sunday, I got some family stuff, but I'll be on my phone a little bit.
I really hate the amount of times you've left this city of Chicago.
Last wedding of the season. It's my fifth and final wedding of 2022.
That marks the official kickoff of football season.
I'm done with. I mean, we're gonna have a good time, but wow, that's a lot of weddings.
And don't you dare schedule a wedding during football season, you idiots. Okay, folks, that's another life lesson from us.
And before we finish, I just have to say we failed to talk about last week the Pac-12 After Dark and how important it is on your Saturday night schedule to throw everything you lost on the Pac-12 After Dark game, which on Saturday was Oregon State, Boise State.
Yep.
In Corvallis, a pet team of John Gasper.
And this week
Fighting
is,
Beavers.
I'm pretty sure it's USC Stanford.
That's at 6 o'clock. We got to pull this up real quick. But yeah, it's, you absolutely need to throw everything. I threw everything I lost on Oregon State, and they beat.
The Pac-12, like this night game is kind of like Monday Night Football for the NFL.
Yes.
Take everything you lost, pile it onto.
Oh, so it would be, you can consider it BYU Baylor.
Which is
9:15,
but
we'll
count that one. Might as well. We're not going to do East Washington and Oregon. No, we're going Baylor. BYU.
It's BYU minus 3.5, and throw your dick and balls on Baylor. I guess
because we do not bet on.
We don't bet on virgins.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's your pick. All right.
If Daryl, did you lose this last weekend, or what'd you do? Did you break even?
I broke even. I lost and then I won, so then it all came out even.
Yeah, I broke even.
But we did get our girlfriend set up with betting accounts so they could get free bets. So I think I have some of hers still left that I'm going to take.
I told the wife, I was like, if I win anything, I'm going to buy you a nice gift. And she goes, at the end of Saturday, she goes, what are you going to get me? I said, you owe me $300. The gift is you actually owe me $300. I lost everything. But I broke even, dude. I always
we broke even once again. Week 2, we're definitely not going to break even. We're going to win.
We're going to win.
So
fade me, daddy.
All right, folks. On to week 2.
On to week 2, guys.
Love
Have
you
fun.
all.
Enjoy week 1 NFL, man.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass,